This next session comes to us from Swiss-Mexican industrial designer Roberto Inderbitzin. Roberto is the founder of Zurich-based design and strategy studio REFRAME, also a WDO member. While you might recognize him from his podcast, in this personal essay, Roberto reflects on resilience as judgment rather than endurance, acting instead of reacting, choosing signal over noise, and removing what doesn't serve the work. Drawing on a pandemic pivot, he makes the case that real resilience is actually the discipline of speed and subtraction. Let's hear from Roberto.
The worst thing you can do right now as a designer is to stand still. Take one step forward when everybody else is standing still. Looks like two. Resilience for me is acting instead of reacting. It's reading the patterns, where we are, where we have been, and where things are heading. And trusting the design process, because we are designers. We have a process, but question it sometimes. And not chasing every little shiny object, every shiny tool, and recognizing what's signal, what's noise, and moving forward to the things that matter. So it's a mindset shift. When everyone sees danger, you see possibilities. You see opportunities. Don't give up. Less reacting, more reading the signals, what's noise, and then acting. Speed is king. When you trust your instincts, you move fast. You find solutions when everybody else is standing still and waiting for an answer. Maybe they don't. I learned that in the pandemic. Like a lot of people, entrepreneurs, designers, humans in general, we didn't know what's going to happen. We didn't know how we're going to survive because, let's say, the client, they quit some project or they pulled their project. But instead of freezing, I went into to look for the pain. We just flew back from the States and we wore masks. What does happen if we wore masks for many hours? It started to hurt. We designed hooks that's going to relieve the pain. We sold them online. It paid for the rent for a couple of months. We attracted media. The largest Swiss newspaper featured us, online and physical. We were even nominated for the design prize. Then people were stuck at home. We designed a collapsible laptop stand made out of wood locally here in Switzerland. We actually were able to set it flat, and for the people without a lot of resources and still pain, we made one out of cardboard. We were able to send them easily and send it to our clients. The deeper lesson was reframing. When everyone was pessimistic, they didn't know what to do, the work was to ask, what's the pain? What's the need? How do we make something useful and valuable? The problem stops feeling like a loss once you reframe it as an opportunity. And it gave me empathy for my client. I lived the logistics, the marketing, the constraints when you need to send it, the insight. That's what shaped Reframe. Asking actually what's needed and removing the rest. AI is definitely a powerful tool. And as designers, we have always worked with tools. The mistake is to outsource our thinking to it. So I treat AI as a sparring partner, not as an oracle. I ask it to think as a particular designer, philosopher, that argues with me, that challenges my assumptions, and pressure tests my ideas, so I can refine the better story. But what's actually the difference now from this technology? Let's say from the other technologies that we use, like CAD and so on. It's the speed. Everything changes by the day. These are unprecedented times that are moving so fast. So resilience in an AI world is discernment. Don't believe every headline. Look who is selling the news, who is waving the shiny object. Look behind the curtain. What is signal, what's noise? And paradoxically, the answer to all of that speed is to slow down. Breathe, take walks, read wisely and read especially widely. Create instead of just consume. Surround yourself with people that actually want to improve, that see opportunities and not just doom. Because we are living in amazing times where we are able to create something out of an idea. And one more thing, we designers, we design for the future. We don't design for the past. The past is gone. So we design for the future. We are very sensitive to patterns. We can recognize them. And by communicating, we can actually shape culture. AI reacts to what's already existing. We anticipate what's coming. And that's the edge. worth protecting. For young designers and designers in general, people, the biggest skill is communication. Not just the pitching, but the writing, the talking, defending your ideas, coming up with stories, understanding, thinking through it out loud. So understanding the brief and translating it to the team is crucial, translating to the manufacturer, to the supplier, to the marketeer, to the board. And everyone speaks a different language. Everyone values something different. Ask the deeper why as well. Don't take the brief as face value. Why does the client need that, want that? Is there a deeper pain? Is there a different market they want to reach? Are the competitors outspending them? Do they need to change the brand? Are they changing the brand or splitting the brand? All questions that you need to understand before you actually start design, before you actually do one sketch. Get to the root before you design anything. Surround yourself with great people, great books, learn from them, apply what you learn from them. Contact the author if you want to challenge them or want to learn more. Easy. Adapt a new technology, but question it. Use it as an elevation of your work so it doesn't dictate the solution. And something that's more difficult to learn as well, to unlearn especially, it's kill your darlings first and kill your darlings early. Don't fall in love with your first idea. Even though it's your first idea, it's great. Rip it off, toss it away, explore other directions. You might come back to the first, but explore. Remember, the best ideas, they whisper, they don't shout. And check your ego. I learned that also the hard way. A few years back, I fell in love with the technology, the design, the product, but we ended up killing the product and the direction. It was the right call, because otherwise that would have diluted the brand instead of strengthening it. So falling in love with my first idea would have hurt the work. And it's a collaboration between many players. Don't let your ego stand in the way. In essence, less noise, more signal. Don't react, but act. So, and when everyone freezes, take that one step forward when everyone else is backing away. Looks like two. Happy World Industrial Design Day to you. Take that one step.